Tonight at the Coliseum, an all-too-familiar foe returns. The Bronx Bombers arrive as the top team in the majors, defending their title in impressive fashion with 50 first-half victories. The Oakland Athletics arrive home on the heels of a red-hot road trip, fighting their way up the American League standings. And tonight they'll take aim at a rival whose arrival at the Coliseum will be anything but welcome. Yankees, A's, right now. Well, after a very fine road trip, the A's are back home at the Coliseum, and waiting for them are the New York Yankees. Alex Rodriguez closing in on 600 career home runs. Coco Crisp is in the lineup tonight. That's good news for the Athletics. And the pitching matchup, Javier Vasquez for New York, Ben Sheets for the Athletics. Big crowd on hand. It'll be the first of a three-game series. The Oakland A's and the New York Yankees coming up right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, things don't change. The Yankees have the best record in the major leagues, and Ray, they have all the superstars that we could talk about, but there's a guy at the top of their order, Brett Gardner, who's having a sensational season.
And I think Reggie Jackson said it best, the Hall of Famer, of course, with the Athletics and Yankees, and said, this young man can run unbelievably, and he can. Just watch him go. Inside the park home run that was missed in the outfield, got off the glove, and look at him go. He has the speed to set the table for the middle part of the batting order, but he's a great outfielder, and he's a very exciting player. Fits in perfectly on this ball club because of the way he can play defense, but his running, his hitting, getting on the base, and making things exciting for the Yankees is really special for them right now.
Yeah, how about a .329 batting average and 24 stolen bases? Well, you saw the two pitchers tonight, Vasquez and Sheets. Ben Sheets will be looking for his fourth win, and Vasquez struggled early. He's been better lately.
Well, for Ben Sheets, of course, he does not, and he's not happy with the 7 losses. He does have 3. He's pitching much better, and he hopes to do that against the Yankees. He lost to them in April. For Vasquez, you mentioned, middle part of his season, he was 5-1. That's exactly what the Yankees had hoped when they acquired him during the offseason. But he is one pitcher. They have 3 that's already won 10 games. They'd like him to get in the picture as well.
And the A's would like to head into the All-Star break on a hot streak. They've started it on the road, but here at home it'll be the Yankees and the Angels this weekend. So the A's hoping to do some damage against 2 of the top teams in the American League. It's the A's and the Yankees coming up from the Coliseum.
A's Baseball is brought to you by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Corona. Relax and refresh with Corona and Lime.
Well, the Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson in the house. Popular in New York and still very popular here in Oakland as well. Some great years with the Athletics. Reggie will enjoy tonight's ball game. Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free and the boardwalk is open daily. 61 degrees, clear and cool. East Bay night, that's about it. The cloud cover rolling in, so it will continue to be a cool night as the Yankees are in town. The Yankees were here earlier this year, and they took 2 out of 3 from the Athletics. Here's the New York lineup. Brett Gardner leading it off. We talked about him in our open, having a terrific season. Derek Jeter is the shortstop. Mark Teixeira at first. Cleanup man Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second. Nick Swisher will DH tonight. Curtis Granderson in center. Francisco Cervelli is the catcher, and Colin Curtis is the right fielder. Defensively for the Athletics, Crisp, and Sweeney. Left center, right. Kuzminoff, Pennington, Ellis, Barton. Infield, Kurt Suzuki is the catcher for Ben Sheets.
Well, Ben, second start against the Yankees this year. Lost earlier in the season, a game against the Yankees and Phil Hughes. So you know what happened in that game? A near no-hitter by the right-hander. But Ben, his 18th start for the Athletics, ERA just a little bit under 5s. He's very happy to turn the calendar into July because in the month of June, he had a very tough month. Won 1 game but lost 4. And as he said, and very outspoken, he says, I hate losses. I don't want to have losses. I want to have wins. And let's hope tonight is a good start for him as he faces that guy, Alex Rodriguez, one of the tough hitters in the Yankee lineup. He's always hitting 4th. Behind Teixeira, in front of Cano. And those are 2 pretty good hitters. Matter of fact, this entire lineup's pretty good.
So here is Brett Gardner, 319, 5 homers and 29 runs batted in. And I can't even imagine that the Yankees, they knew that Gardner was a decent player, but I don't think they could imagine he would be having this kind of year. And not a bad lineup to be batting leadoff. So Gardner very fast. And he starts out the ball game.
And you think about Gardner for Joe Girardi playing in left field. Then Johnny Damon was there last year in that spot in left field. And if you think much younger,
yeah, Johnny
Damon can still run well, but there's no doubt Brett Gardner, exciting young player, and right now instead of hitting 9th, he's hitting leadoff for the Yankees.
On the ground, Pennington knows he's got to hurry, and he just gets Gardner 1 out.
Check out our keys. The game brought to you by Toyota. Get Brett Gardner out on a ground ball to shortstop. Already did that. Good road trip, making a great homestand. 6 against the Yankees and the Angels. And for Sheets, continues string of nice outings by the starters. And that's been the case in the month of July. And slow down the red hot Gardner, which they already have. As Cliff Pennington did not waste any time on the medium hit ball to shortstop. He can fly. It's almost like Ichiro. You have to hurry. Cannot waste any time. That's what speed will do.
First pitch to Jeter is inside. .281 with 8 homers, 39 runs batted in. Again, an all-star. No surprise there for Jeter.
Ben Sheets faced the Yankees in his 4th start of the season on the 21st of April. I mentioned Phil Hughes pitching for the Yankees and an early lead.
The loss in that game, that was his first loss of the year. 3-0 pitch right down the middle of the Jeter first strike. Right side, Mark Ellis has it, and Jeter's retired. 2 outs.
Well, good to see the great crowd on hand. And Steve Finale, the A's ticket office. Of course, good crowds expected for the Yankee series. Still seats available. So if you're watching on Comcast, watching that California in HD, and you say, hey, it looks pretty good, pretty exciting, let's go out and watch. I'm sure you could find a ticket. But if not, have been watching on Comcast Sportsnet, California.
Mark Teixeira steps in, hitting in the third spot. Teixeira, line drive. Nice play by Derek Barton. Couple steps to his right. Side retired. Sheets has a 3-up, 3-down top of the first inning. Javier Vasquez set to go to work for New York.
Number 38, Todd Stevenson. And the third base, number 12,
I like that.
Mike Gallego.
I like that a lot. I like that. No score, bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Athletics lineup tonight. Coco Crisp leads off, followed by Park, Sweeney, Suzuki. Custa's the DH. Kuzmanov, Gross, Ellis, and Pennington. Gardner, Granderson, Curtis in the outfield for the Yankees. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira on the infield. Cervalli is the catcher, and there is Javier Vasquez.
Now Vasquez, like Ben Sheets, probably not the numbers that the Yankees had hoped. He is 6-7 on the season with a 5+ earned run average, and he did defeat the A's back in April, but he got some help early. As Joe Gonzalez got the first 2 batters, then ended up giving up 3 runs first inning, which helped Vasquez settle down and eventually won the game. This guy was not in the lineup, though. Coco Crisp was on the DL. The A's also were saying Jorge Posada, and he is injured. So Cervalli, who has been catching and catching well for the Yankees, is behind the plate again.
1-1 to Crisp, hitting .302. 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Just glad he's in the lineup. He left the game in the second inning yesterday with some hamstring tightness, but it was very precautionary, so he's in the lineup tonight, and that's good news.
And it's encouraging to see him in the clubhouse, and for him to say even after the game in Cleveland before the long flight home that he thinks, I thought at the time he would be in the lineup, and he'd like to see it. And sometimes it is better to get a player out early instead of keeping him in the game, have him injured, and be out longer.
Full count now to Crisp with Derek Barton in the on-deck circle.
Matt Carson called back up. He's sitting talking to Cliff Pennington.
Connor Jackson to the disabled. We'll give you the roster move made today by the Athletics as Chris strikes out. And here it is. Connor Jackson to the DL. Clayton Mortensen back to Sacramento. And up from Sacramento, Matt Carson. Saw him earlier this year. And Matt Watson. Carson a right-handed hitter. Watson a left-handed hitter. And Connor Jackson, that hamstring still bothering him, so he's going to let it rest through the All-Star break. And we talked about the day off on Thursday, so the A's really don't need a 5th starter through Sunday.
Well, Clayton Mortensen has to be very happy the way he pitched Saturday in Cleveland. Got a no decision, but pitched very well for 6 innings. And sure, after last year, kind of a little bit up and down for him when he came up. Just be very happy with that performance, and even though he's back at AAA, at least people know what he can do.
Derek Barton hitting .287 with 4 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Had 4 hits in that series against the Indians, and he also walked 4 times. See the good crowd tonight. Barton fouls it back.
No, although it's very hard to do, but you like to think as a player, you take the field, and even though you're playing a different uniform, a different team, you look at the players the same. They're better. What the A's have played the last 9 games, but you still believe that you're in the big leagues and you're facing big league pitching and you can have success.
Well, Barton strikes out, and that's the 2nd out. Well, Ray, we got a new toy for the rest of the season. It's called Ultramo. Watch that. It's going to break.
Oh, wow.
Is that awesome? What? It's called Ultramo, and I thought this was one of the coolest things for a couple years now, and we finally got it. Rest of the year.
You know what? And I bet Mariano Rivera thinks it's just for him. They call Mariano Rivera Mo.
Well, he's
in town, and
Ultramo.
Let's just hope for 3 games we don't see that super cut fastball from Mariano Rivera and Ultramo. Well, that is, of course, some of these pitches I'm sure are going to be very, very interesting to see in that. Ultramo it is?
It's called Ultramo, and it's basically a super slow motion. You see some pretty cool stuff with this. So
you can see the spin of the baseball and all kinds of good things.
So we'll have fun with that, and we're going to have it every home game the rest of the year. It's also a camera. Obviously, you can move around. It's at high first tonight. That's, see the bucket right above Kurt Suzuki's head, camera bucket. That is where it's located tonight.
It's up there.
Sweeney fouls off the high fastball. 1-2.
So the camera people sit in buckets, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Some of them do.
But Mike.
No, Mike's not. He's not bucket material.
He's big league.
Yeah, you've been around as long as Mike Ratus. You get a lounge chair and run your camera, baby.
Well, here it is. Check out the grip.
What was it? 4-seamer?
It was a foul ball.
It was a foul ball. All right.
So you're saying they can move around, so tomorrow night,
put it anywhere,
different angle. Then maybe by the weekend we'll show all the angles and kind of triple or quadruple screen.
Sure. Well, hey.
Split screen? Heck no, let's just go with more.
The great Tom Adz is back in the director's chair tonight, so he's going to have fun with Ultramo. Two and 2 to Sweeney.
Manager of your American League All-Stars from tomorrow night in Anaheim, Joe Girardi. I'm sure right now he's very happy after the selection process is over as of yesterday. Of course, yesterday in New York. And on TV, the All-Star teams were announced. Joe Girardi and Charlie Manuel. And there's the A's All-Star, Trevor Cahill. 8-2 record, 274 run average. He'll pitch tomorrow night.
Line drive. It's right at the center fielder, Curtis Granderson. So both pitchers have 3 up, 3 down first innings. We head to the second. 0-0. first pitch is hit hard to the right side, but Barton makes a nice play, flips to Sheets. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second inning. So Rodriguez grounds out.
A lot of people thinking Dallas Braden was going to be pitching or might pitch this series, with the Yankees returning after the incident that occurred back in April between Alex Rodriguez and Dallas Braden. But since Dallas is on the disabled list, that will not take place. And even had Dallas pitched Saturday, which he was placed on the disabled list prior to that start, he was not going to be pitching in this series anyway.
Robinson Cano steps in. Robinson Cano does any more around the batter's box, we're going to be here till 11 o'clock. That was quite a setup. Did you see that? A lot going on there.
Well, he immediately said hello to the home plate umpire and Coach Suzuki.
Maybe Joe West had a point. Maybe he can hit as he lines this one. Coco Crisp dives and he caught it. Another great play by the A's center fielder, Coco Crisp.
We have seen that, unfortunately, for the A's when he was at Boston. But now we get to see it firsthand, doing it for the Athletics against the Yankees. A line drive, Cano thinking maybe 2. Out of nowhere comes Coco Crisp. Headlong dive. Ultra Mo, check it out. Oh, look at that. Concentration, open glove, in pocket, closed glove. Hit the ground. And soft. Very soft outfield turf, thanks to Clay Wood, head groundskeeper.
Nick Swisher steps in.
That's a good shot of it.
Love it. Swisher having a very fine season. .293 with 13 home runs. 47 runs batted in.
He is one of the 5 listed on the extras for the 34th spot in the American League, and that vote taking place right now. Is it through Thursday?
Through Thursday, yeah.
So Paul Konerko listed on that. Kevin Youkilis. That's some pretty good names in the American League as well as the National League. Michael Young, of course, won the game a couple of years ago to help the American League have home field advantage in the World Series.
3-2 now to Nick Swisher.
Swisher's having a good year, though. .293 with the 17 home runs, 47 driven in. Always a very good eye and good on-base percentage.
Payoff pitch is drilled down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. Sweeney picks it up. Swisher will have a 2-out double. Well, the pitch to Cano was up, and that pitch to Swisher was up, and both guys line drives.
I checked the board after this pitch, and it was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Location was not good. Supposed to be down and away. It was middle in and up, and Swisher hit it so hard it would not hook foul.
First hit for the Yankees, and here's Curtis Granderson. Granderson hitting in the 7th spot.
That's the pitch he wanted to throw Nick Swisher. It's a movement going away from the left-hander. Instead, it straightened out, stayed inside.
He tries to catch the inside corner, just misses. 1-1 the count. And that one was not a foul ball. It was
serious crossing.
Yeah, just shot right past Kurt Suzuki. You could tell by the reaction of Kurt that it just was not quite right.
He was expecting a breaking ball and just barely got a glove on a fastball. You see him go inside. He was expecting the break. And always very scary. Definitely no swing or no contact from the hitter. And now with a runner at third base, should be just one sign, but all the more reason to make sure you get the signs correct.
Well, you're not going to be happy because you know what that was?
Of course.
Fastball.
But all the official score needs to do is go downstairs when the game is over, talk to the pitcher, talk to the catcher, who messed up.
Yeah, I agree. If it's a cross-up, it should be a wild pitch.
Well, you don't always assume, I mean, you should assume that it's usually the pitcher's fault. Catcher knows what he's doing, but you cannot always assume. I mean, sometimes the catcher forgets what he called. But the most important thing, ask. Now, granted,
that's a fair ball past a diving Derek Barton, and the Yankees are going to get on the board. Granderson very fast, hits the bag at second, and he's going to make it to third with a stand-up triple, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
Again, a off-speed pitch inside, supposed to be away, and Derek Barton has already made a couple of good plays in this game, just in the second inning. And Granderson playing at Comerica Park, Detroit, has the power for home runs, but also the speed for extra bases. And Comerica Park, a great triples park.
That is the fourth triple for Granderson this season, and that is his 23rd RBI. So a double and a triple with 2 outs here in the second inning for the Yankees. Bounce over the mound and into center field. The base hit for Cervelli. Granderson scores. 2-0 Yankees. Nothing but a big bouncer right over the mound and into center field.
Well, that's the curveball that stayed up. The fastball before was inside, mislocation, and
Number 27, Colin Curtis.
the 0-1 curveball. And of course, Ben, when he throws his curveball the best, it's when it has a sharp bite, hard, down. The 30th run batted in for Cervelli.
Here's Colin Curtis. Curtis, the youngster. 4th round pick of the Yankees back in 2006, and he made his first major league start on Wednesday. The Yankees are coming off taking 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays at home. They'll be here for 3 games, then in Seattle for 4 leading up to the All-Star break.
And their last trip to the West Coast this year.
And they're happy about that. That one's a line foul. The Yankees 50-31 with the best record in the majors, and they're 22-18 on the road. Pitch. There's the curveball, but Curtis lays off. The new helmet. Not everybody's wearing them. A handful of guys are. High fly ball, right center field. Sweeney is under it. He's got it side retired. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Yankees. Bottom of the second coming up. 2-0 New York.
nothing but a hound dog.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Salt in theaters starting July 23rd. Well, if shops should be jumping tonight, huh?
Show that in ultra mode.
Yeah. Yankees 2-0 over the A's here in the bottom of the second. Suzuki, Custon, Kuzminov. First pitch from Javier Vasquez in first strike.
Vasquez has had a very good career. Strikeout pitcher. But you stay close, you look at his numbers, you have a chance. But one thing you don't want to do is give him too many runs early. Makes it much easier to pitch. Has a couple of strikeouts already, the first two batters of the game for the A's.
Remember the first 3 weeks of the season, he was horrible. His first 5 starts, his ERA was 9.78. But he has settled down. He had a good month of June. But that's why his ERA is so high. He just started the season so poorly. 0-2 pitch. Suzuki lines it into center field for a base hit. Active strikeout leaders. Vasquez over 2,300 strikeouts. This is his 13th year in the big leagues.
Look at Jamie Moyer approaching his uniform number, which is 50, and Tim Wakefield at about, what, 43, 44. Andy Pettitte, great career, 2,228. Did you say he's been named the All-Star team?
Yes, just today. Something that we should talk about. I mentioned the All-Star rosters. The deal is there are 3 pitching spots open in the American League. 2 because of pitchers pitching on Sunday. That's Trevor Cahill and CC Sabathia. The third is Clay Buchholz from the Red Sox, who's placed on the disabled list. So those are 3 spots that Joe Girardi still needs to fill. Well, he filled one of them today with the gentleman on the right, Andy Pettitte. And Pettitte's having a very fine season.
He's one of 3 with 10 wins, 282 earned run average.
Yeah. So he was just named today. So Andy Pettitte is an all-star. So that gives the Yankees 7 all-stars. Cano, Jeter, Hughes, Rivera, Rodriguez, Sabathia, and now Andy Pettitte. But that's a legitimate all-star season for Pettitte. Cuss got jammed, and he hits a fly ball to Curtis, who has it for out number 1. So still a couple spots to be named, and also in the National League, Giovanni Gerardo from the Brewers, who's a very fine pitcher. Same deal. He will not pitch due to an injury he had yesterday. Charlie Manuel will have to name another pitcher there.
So CC Sabathia and Trevor Cahill, the only 2 pitchers pitching Sunday?
As far as I read, yes. Those are the only 2 that fall into that category.
Right.
Kuzminov takes a strike. So, hey, Bob Garrett said, you know what? It's good timing. The Yankees are in town. I'm going to talk to Joe Girardi about Andrew Bailey. So Bailey's still got a chance.
It'd be nice to have an A's representative that has a chance to play.
Yep.
Cahill is a fan, but still a nice honor for him. It just so happened to be the way the rotation set up for him to pitch tomorrow night and Sunday. At 22, he's got a chance to be there a few times.
Yep.
And we hope that guy, Kurt Suzuki, maybe they take 3 catchers.
Maybe.
Now, do they have to take another pitcher?
Yeah.
So
I think there's a set number of pitchers, position players.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's still a week of baseball left.
Oh, yeah.
That happens every year. A couple guys get hurt.
Joe Girardi said today, he said, you know, a lot of taken out of his hand or the manager's hands just because of the new guidelines in selecting the All-Stars.
Players get some votes on who they think should be going. 1-2 the count to Kuzminov. And you mentioned Nick Swisher, part of the online voting process. So 1-2 to the A's third baseman with Suzuki at first base. Dribbled out in front. Vasquez flips to first. Kuzminov is retired for the second out.
And the A's host the Yankees tomorrow night. Starting time is 7:05. Be here early from 3 to 7. If you test drive a brand new Chevrolet, you'll get Chevrolet A's Rally Cap. And there it is. That's a nice looking cap you can pick up for just test driving a brand new Chevrolet from 3 to 7 p.m. before tomorrow night's game. For tickets, go to OaklandAthletics.com or call 877-493-BALL. Yeah, I'll go out early. I do enough to
just take a buzz. Wonder how far they let you go. Just like shoot down 880.
Anaheim, ready for the All-Star game.
I want to see what this baby's got under the hood. I'd like to get to the I-5. I'll see you Thursday. Oh, and 1 to Gabe Gross. Runner in scoring position for Gross. Hitting .260 with a homer and 15 RBIs. It's jammed, and it's going to be Jeter. He tracks it down, side retired. A hit and a runner left for the Athletics. We head to the third inning, 2-0 Yankees. And the Yankees will have the top of their order. Brett Gardner, then Derek Jeter, and Mark Teixeira. Gardner, the bunt attempt. It's called a strike. Gardner grounded out to short in the first inning.
You look at last inning, Ben Sheets. Ground ball, first pitch from Alex Rodriguez to the first baseman. Great play by Coco Chris. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Left the mound with 3 more hits and 2 runs. That's why you get the first 2 outs quickly. Of course, not to say they're not bearing down trying to get the 3rd out, but that's how quickly things can change. And it took a 3-2 count to Nick Swisher that started.
Slips out of the hands of Sheets. 2-1 the count. Breaking ball just a bit high. She thought maybe he had his first strikeout. So full count.
Should have. Isn't anything wrong with that as far as the height?
10 charges to get the big hop. Throws a little wide, but Martin keeps his foot on the bag. So out number 1. Gardner grounds to short. Time now for a Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Mike from Hayward. Should there be a salary cap on a team so the playing field is fair? Is the Yankees payroll $1.3 billion?
Well, that last statement is definitely no. The payroll 1.3?
No, the payroll is $206 million this year, which is up about $5 million from 2009.
Now, maybe what that person is thinking that since 2000, the total payroll for the Yankees has been in excess of $1 billion, maybe close to $1.3 billion, but not annually. And there will never be a salary cap in baseball. I say, well, I don't want to say never, but highly unlikely.
Ellis in the foul territory holds on, and Jeter is retired. And you know what? There's a lot more to the Yankees and their salary and their payroll. We all know it's very, very high. But there's quite a few teams around Major League Baseball who get a very nice revenue sharing check. And a lot of it comes from the Yankees.
Well, most of it comes from the Yankees because you look at it's based on a threshold, and after you get beyond that, and you're doing it every year, it keeps adding on. But bottom line, between the luxury tax and revenue sharing, they might pay out as much as most clubs' payrolls.
Oh,
if not more.
No question. Hit hard. Ellis, shallow right field, throws, and they get to share. A nice play by Mark Ellis. And Ben Sheets has a settled down inning. A 3 up, 3 down, top of the 3rd. Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It's Sportsnet Central. They'll have a busy show. Baseball recaps. Are the Warriors going after the power forward David Lee? Oh, hot dog arrest fallout. Lots of controversy there. And Jamarcus Russell. He's in some trouble, it sounds like. Henry Wolford, Damon Andrews will have all that news and more tonight on Sportsnet Central. I'm concerned about the hot dog fallout. 0-1 pitch to Ellis. Good swing by Mark. Fouled it back. 0-2. He's with one hit off Vasquez in the first couple innings. It was a single by Kurt Suzuki. It's hit hard. Jeter, a nice play, throws on the run, and Ellis is retired. Very nice play by Derek Jeter. So 1 out here in the third. And here's our Bloomberg Sports graphic tonight. It has to do with Cliff Pennington and the batting average.
Well, the last 21 games, a 437 batting average. We had mentioned that June the 10th, he was sitting right at 200, and here we are on July the 5th. He's at 262.
How about that? And with the defense that he plays and the speed he has, where he can steal bases, if he hits 270, 275, he could have a long career.
And that is the man. First thing you talk to Cliff Pennington is brings up Jim Scanlon. The work that he put in with Jim Scanlon and the mechanics. And Jim found a slight mechanical flaw in his swing, corrected it, worked on it in the batting cage, up in the indoor cage. And the confidence that Cliff Pennington brought, thanks to the work with Jim Scanlon, he's been hitting well. You know, the one thing he talked about, though, he hit 3 home runs in the month of April. He's not hit one since. But still, the shortstop position is a defensive position. And it will always be. You saw the play Jeter made. He's been struggling at the plate a little bit, driving in runs, but he's played solid defense.
This one ripped to right field. Curtis back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Bounces back toward the infield, and that's going to allow Pennington to get the third with a stand-up triple, and he rounds third as the ball rolls free for a little bit. But Pennington stays at third.
And thanks to Curtis Granderson, hustling center fielder, he came over to help out. Cliff Pennington, we were just talking about not hitting a home run. He almost did. As the ball off the out-of-town scoreboard, Curtis went back, but it carried him off the scoreboard as he got right near the wall, hugging it, as a matter of fact, thinking he had a chance to get up and catch it, and it just, the wall stopped him. Could not jump high enough. The wall stopped him, but Granderson was there to back up. And Pennington showing the power there and getting to third base with nobody out, or 1 out.
Coco takes a bit low. Well, that graphic on Cliff Pennington was brought to you by Bloomberg Sports, the leader in data analysis. It's developed an analytical product being used by baseball clubs. There's also a product for fans. Improve your fantasy play or track your favorite players and teams. Go to BloombergSports.com for details. 1-0 pitch. Fastball just a bit inside. That triple, the 5th by Cliff Pennington.
And as Cliff talked about before the game, he has 12 stolen bases. He's on his own right there. He was not picking up Mike Gallego. Might have helped as he was like he stumbled a little bit between first and second, trying to see where the ball was. But that's the time you look at your third base coach. He can see it easily and bring you to third without a problem. But he said his specialty in the minor leagues was his speed. 12 stolen bases, caught twice. And, of course, showing his ability to take the extra base, especially first and third. And this time he gets a triple.
The right field. Curtis back. He's got it. It's going to be a sacrifice fly for Coco Crisp. Pennington scores, and the A's are on the board.
And that was the importance of Cliff Pennington getting to third base, where he stood with just 1 out. And a sac fly, try to get inside of Coco Crisp. Maybe they did, but he turned on it quickly enough to hit deep enough to get the run in.
11th RBI for Crisp. With 2 outs here in the third. Barton goes after the first pitch, bounces it to the right side. Cano takes care of it, side retired, but a run for the Athletics thanks to the Cliff Pennington triple. 2-1 Yankees after 3. So Alex Rodriguez leads things off, and Ben Sheets pours a fastball in there for a strike. Yankees with a 2-1 lead over the A's. 12 home runs for Rodriguez this year. He will soon join the elite group. 5 home runs away from 600 in his career. When he joins that group, he will be the 7th member. He will then chase down Sammy Sosa. One and two to Rodriguez. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and A-Rod knew it. And that's the first strikeout for Sheets. A well-placed fastball on the outside corner.
Well, it looked like Alex Rodriguez was thinking inside. See this midsection with a perfectly thrown strike. Tommy Cam shows the hips opening up, and Alex Rodriguez a great hitter, and there's no doubt look for certain pitches, maybe location, and that time I think he might have been thinking inside more, and where Sheets threw the perfect fastball.
So 1 out. Here's Robinson Cano. Cano hit a line drive that Coco Crisp made a diving play on in the second inning. Now, Robinson Cano has been a very good player for the Yankees, but this year he's really taken it to another level where, I mean, he's an MVP candidate.
Yes, he is. Well, they put him in the 5th spot. Of course, that means protection for Alex Rodriguez, and he has done nothing to disappoint the Yankees with a decision by Joe Girardi to put him there.
Yeah, that's not a bad place to be.
There's his hitting right there. That's his specialty, that 5.5 hole between third and short. And, you know, I think what we're seeing in Robinson Cano, of course, the power numbers are there, the RBIs, the batting average, the whole package. But Ryan Sweeney, in a sense, a similar type of hitter. And I think we're going to see, as Ryan Sweeney progresses to the major league level, he's going to hit the power just like Robinson Cano, but yet continue to hit the ball to the opposite field the way Cano just hit that textbook base hit, a fastball away. There's where it shows. He's hit 50 to right field, but 30 and 24. 54 have gone to left field or to center field. So he has done an excellent job the whole field and spreading the hits around.
Cano right in the prime of his career, 27 years old. Yeah, the guy's hitting in front of you. Jeter, Teixeira, Rodriguez. You're going to get lots of opportunities.
That's right.
Swisher, good swing, fouled it back. The Yankees this year are 2nd in the American League in runs scored. The Red Sox have scored more than the Yankees. 12 more so far. That's total runs scored. They're 3rd in homers, 1st in walks. Swisher. Fly ball left field, playable for Gross. He's got it. Cano trots back, and that is out number 2.
That's a great 0-2 pitch, a good curveball in the strike zone.
Number 14.
Swisher very good at, of course, plate coverage, but Ben Sheets that time threw the curveball that all Nick Swisher could do was hit the ball weakly to left field. Could not really drive it like he did the 3-2 fastball in the first at bat, second inning.
Granderson had a big hit in this game. RBI triple in the second inning. First we saw the young player that Curtis Granderson was traded for, Austin Jackson. A very good-looking young player. But Granderson, a few more years under his belt.
What's wrong with that? It's a curveball. Kind of Wendell said maybe kind of act like he hasn't seen a curveball lately.
He's got his hat pulled down too far.
Wow.
Fastball popped up just to our left.
The previous pitch, here's the curveball. That's not low, folks, because by the time Suzuki caught it, I mean, that crossed the heart of the plate.
No, that's a strike. That curveball bounced to Mick Kelleher, who's the first base coach for the Yankees. There's Mick. This will be pitch number 55 for Sheets, and we're in the fourth inning. That's a fastball up and away. The marine layer is closing in, folks. It's cooling off big time. There's the curveball, and Granderson swings and misses. Couple of strikeouts for Sheets in the top of the fourth, and the Yankees do not score.
Ryers Gibbs presents the great.
Performance brought to you by Nation's Giant Hamburgers. Big Mac, 1987. On this date, he became the first rookie to hit 30 home runs before the All-Star break. That was it right there. He ended up with 49 home runs that year, leading the American League. You've got a giant appetite, it's got to be Nation's Big Mac. 30 home runs before the All-Star break, his rookie season. You had to figure something good was coming here. Rookie year, you hit 30 before the All-Star break.
And a 49 on the final day of the season. Left. Matthew was born, so could he have hit 50? Maybe. But as he said, we were in St. Louis, and he said, it's a no-brainer. I was going to leave for the birth of my child.
That's a no-brainer, yeah.
So regardless of how many home runs, and he was not thinking back, nor should he.
2-1 to Ryan Sweeney, who will be followed by Kurt Suzuki and Jack Cust here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So Reggie Jackson before the game signing autographs.
He reminds us that he hit about 37 before the All-Star, at the All-Star break one year, but unfortunately did not double that in the second half. Talking to Reggie about the ice plant in the old stadium configuration before Mountain Davis was built. Teixeira
flips to Vasquez. Sweeney is retired. In 1989, Mark McGwire, on this date, hit his 100th career home run. This is it.
Suzuki.
Charlie Liebrandt here at the Coliseum, and there's those bleachers that we like to talk about.
I'm happy to say I saw all 363 of Mac's home runs. He played for the Yankees. Makes the different look in center field. Mount Davis. Reggie goes down around the batting cage. Talking to Derek Jeter and Robinson Cano. Of course, Reggie's always going to get a good seat. You know that. It's behind the dugout. Or is it Davila? Usually a Davila. Talking to those guys about the old save configuration, and the ice plant that was up in the back walkway, and I said, Reggie could hit it back there. Reggie kind of smiled. He knows. He could hit it better than anybody.
Suzuki pops it up on the infield. Robinson Cano has it, and that's out number 2.
Now batting, designated hitter.
Well, so far, Vasquez has been pretty sharp in the game. He's given up a couple of hits, a couple of strikeouts. Outside to Jack Cust. Cust did a fly ball to right field back in the second inning. .56 pitches so far for Javier Vasquez. Francisco Cervalli, the catcher, thought that was a strike. Hunter Wendelstedt, a little bit of a tight strike zone in the first 4.
A little bit.
Try to be kind. Vasquez, talking about his career, he came over from the Braves in the offseason. Melky Cabrera going to Atlanta. The young players. And that one just a bit high. So there's the first walk issued by Vasquez.
Third baseman, number 5.
And here's Kuzminov. Kevin Kuzminov is marred in a major slump. He had such a hot streak for a while, and now, unfortunately for Kuzminov, it's the exact opposite.
I've Cliff Bennington, too, in almost the same period of time.
0 for 30. 0 for his last 30 for Kuzminov.
Had the day off yesterday in Cleveland. He needed it. Just a chance to get away from the game.
That one bounced in the hole. Jeter throws to second. Not in time. Cust beat it. And Kuzminov is aboard.
And as Kuz was running to first, he was thinking more about run, Jack, run. Because the only play was going to be for Derek Jeter to make that patented jump throw. But Jack Cust really hustling. Derek Jeter makes this play as well as anybody in baseball, where he'll jump in air and make a throw of the lot on it. Usually across the diamond to first, but there's your ultra mo, and shows that Jack Cust beat the throw of Derek Jeter. So what? 0 for what?
0 for 30.
Not anymore.
So Kuzminov gets the base hit. 2 on, 2 out for Gross. Chance for the A's to tie it. And that one inside. Vasquez is getting a little frustrated, I think, with home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt. He's missing, but not by much. It's a curveball in the first strike. And that one outside. All started with the 2-out walk to Cust, and then the hit by Kuzminov.
Another opinion of the bench coach and Joe Girardi. They're shading Gross to right field. They expect him to pull the ball. Huge hole on the left side of the infield.
Fouls that one off, and it got a piece of Cervalli. Looks like he grabbed kind of his rib cage area.
Well, the way he was coming up a little bit, and the foul ball got him. We see catchers at time when they stand up. He stood up as the ball got him right underneath the left arm.
Ow.
Glove came up, and the foul ball went right under his glove.
Kind of an odd place to get hit if you're a catcher.
Well, it looked like I saw him kind of his thigh, so it might have carried him down to his left thigh. But that first shot, and you know, people talk about catching foul tips. Why can't you catch him? Well, you can just see there with the ball. His glove is in a position to catch the ball, but there's a foul ball, and it changes the direction. In this case, about 4 inches away from his glove into his body. I had that happen 3 years in a row to my right finger.
Yeah, I can tell. just when I think you're pointing at me, you're pointing a different way.
But that's kind of the unluck part of it.
Well, it is lucky, right? Catching a foul tip.
Oh, yeah. And because you put your glove to catch the ball, and any foul tip, any contact with the bat changes the direction to be very slight. But it changes it just enough, usually to hit some part of your body.
Gross staying alive, 2-2 the count. So a lot of times on a foul tip, if the catcher does hold on, sometimes it rattles around a little bit,
right,
or catches up in the webbing a little bit of the catcher's net.
Usually when they're caught, it's almost just a flick. You know, you can barely just touch the bat, and it goes firmly into the mitt. You're right. A lot of times it can rattle around. Usually catcher's mitt are not that big. So if it hits more padding than in the pocket, it's usually going to drop.
2-2 pitch. Setting up inside. The ball's hit hard, but it's right at Cano. Gross is retired, and the A's do not score. They get a hit, they get a walk, and they strand 2. We're headed to the 5th inning. It's the Yankees 2 and the A's 1. chilly night. It's really cooled off as the marine layer has worked its way over toward the Coliseum. Cervelli, Curtis, and Gardner for the Yankees. 8-9-1 in the order against Ben Sheets. Sheets had a couple of strikeouts in the fourth inning. Well, Ray, we want to wish a very happy 60th birthday to a big A's fan. Her name is Laura Richardson. Her and her husband, Ron Tempest, they live in Lander, Wyoming.
Where?
Lander, Wyoming. Beautiful country up there. But they watch all of our games. DirecTV, we're told.
Comcast, Sportsnet, California, and high definition.
Either way. Doesn't matter how you get the baseball package. So Laura's watching. We wish her a very happy birthday. We're told that she keeps score every game. So if we make any mistakes, we can give her a call and make sure that we straighten out our scorecard a little bit.
There it said Ultramo.
That's right. That's right. Laura, Ultramo is for you. It's our birthday present to you. Ben Sheets has it. Underhands it to first. So happy 60th birthday to Laura Richardson in Lander, Wyoming. Big A's fan. Time now for a trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Who are the 6 players in Major League Baseball history to make an all-star team as a shortstop 10 or more times?
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. Cal Ripken.
That's right. Maybe Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Major League history. Ernie Banks.
How about Ernie Banks? How about what's the guy with the White Sox? Nellie Fox?
Luis Aparicio.
Louis Aparicio.
Yeah, favorite. How many other? 5? Or 6? How many? What was the question?
I think it's 5.
What are you laughing at, Mikey? Come on, 5 or 6? Come on.
Don't hurt yourself. Left center, but it's going to be the left fielder, Gabe Gross. Gets up there and make the catch.
All right, what was the question? You've got it. How
Is it 5, Grady?
How does it say?
6.
Okay.
6 shortstops in Major League history to make 10 or more All-Star. We're throwing guesses out there.
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody else throwing any guesses out there. Barry Larkin, Mike Ratus throws out. That's a good guess.
You're right about Cal Ripken.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith.
Ah, attaboy. Cal Ripken.
Would you see what happens with Mike Ratus starts to think?
Yeah, it gets really smoky in the booth. Of course, that happens with a lot of us. Just a bit low to Gardner. Just 4 hits off Sheets. Done a pretty good job. Gave up the 2 runs in the second inning. I think he's going to have a 3-up, 3-down inning as Coco Crisp comes racing in. He's got it. Side retired. 5 in a row retired by Sheets. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 2-1 New York. baseball history to make an all-star team as a shortstop 10 or more times. There's our list.
I was going to say Pee Wee Reese, too.
You got Louis Aparicio.
Ernie Banks didn't. That's surprising.
Gary Larkin's on that list. Good guess by Mike Ratus.
Pee Wee came to mind, but I thought it'd be more Ernie.
Well, the A's trying to get something going against Javier Vasquez. They stranded a pair in the bottom of the 4th inning. A strike on the outside corner.
Banjo Man's in town. Yankees here, so the Banjo Man's here.
He's right below us.
You can hear him. How about Ultra Mo, the Banjo Man? There he is. Bird hat on.
Having fun. So 1-2 the count to Ellis. Buck grounded out to short. Derek Jeter made a very nice play going to his left. Close pitch, but outside, 2-2. Vasquez with 1 walk and 2 strikeouts so far in the game.
Nice cap the A's wore over the weekend. The white cap, blue bill with the A's logo in red, white, and blue.
Ellis has worked it full.
That's a good cap. 2 out of 3 over the weekend in Cleveland wearing that beautiful cap. Independence weekend.
And Vasquez misses outside. Good at bat for Ellis. It's a leadoff walk.
Well, the Independence Day Series presented by Amway Global continues tomorrow night. Game time 7:05. After tonight's game, 30,000 fans will be getting a souvenir A's ball. Compliments of Amway Global, where positive makes for good business. Get tickets for the rest of this series now at OaklandAthletics.com. Be a lot of happy folks leaving the stadium tonight getting a baseball. Good idea to give it upon exit.
That's true. Met the very nice people from Amway Global before the game tonight. We're excited to be here. We're excited to have them and enjoy the game.
Well, I say that upon exiting the stadium because unfortunately there was a baseball giveaway one time before the game, and too many of them ended up where they shouldn't be.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's a good idea to get that souvenir baseball when you leave the stadium, hopefully after an A's win.
Pennington takes a stride. A's got some help tonight from the Chicago White Sox. White Sox beat the Angels 9-2 in Chicago. Floyd got the win. Casimir got the loss.
A's have yet to see the Chicago White Sox. Kansas City Royals. Something about Central Division teams and seeing them very much.
Carlos Quinn hit a couple of home runs, 14 and 15 for the White Sox. And the A's are also getting help from the Cleveland Indians, who are defeating the Texas Rangers 9-3 in the bottom of the 8th down in Texas. The Rays beat the Red Sox 6-5. Boston had a 5-1 lead in that game. The Rays came all the way back and won it 6-5. Eric Patterson went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Home runs 5 and 6. So Patterson couple of home runs, but the Rays win it 6-5. 1-1 to Cliff Pennington, who tripled and scored in the third. Runner was going, and Pennington shoots at 5.
His last home run was Coco Crisp at Baltimore in the first game of the road trip. That would be last Tuesday. I'm sorry, Adam Rosales did yesterday. My apologies. You're right. Got it down here. Just forgot to see it. Hit his 6th yesterday in Cleveland, but 2 on the road. So the A's, not surprising to see the hit and run attempt. Trying to get something going because the long ball is not something they are getting a lot of.
Bounce to Teixeira, who spins and fires to Jeter to get the lead runner.
We talked about the importance of pitching on Ben Mazzaro yesterday. Second start on the road trip. Baltimore Tuesday, Cleveland Sunday, and he pitched well into the 8th inning. Rest of the bullpen and did a great job in picking up the victory. He's winning 3-1, completing the series win over the weekend, winning 2 of 3 against the Indians as they did against Baltimore.
So 1 out, top of the order, Coco Crisp. Pitch down around the knees for strike. Crisp 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly.
Always bundled up like it's cold. Didn't see that look on the road trip.
No.
6 games, Baltimore and Cleveland.
Chris pulls the bat back.
Very high, 111 pitches for Vinny yesterday. Only 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He's had a couple of games this year where he's had too many walks, but that was not the case yesterday. He ball great.
Good speed at first, good speed in the batter's box. Coco Crisp. Swing and a miss. That one kind of exploded inside on Coco Crisp. Velasquez, very high pitch count. Sheets not quite so bad. Pitch, but Crisp lays off.
Coco Crisp against Kevin Millwood. The A's back in the game, actually put him ahead. He's had a 6-3 lead. That's why you think back to the road trip. A's had a chance to win the game Wednesday against the Orioles, as well as Saturday against the Indians, but lost those 2 of the road trip.
Pennington not going, and the ball's bounced to A-Rod. Handles a tough hop. Out at second, safe at first. The in-between hop that Rodriguez pretty well.
Well, once he caught the ball and it ran around a little bit, Robinson Cano taking the good throw from Alex Rodriguez. And watch the turn by Cano with Pennington getting down hard on him. He got the ball unloaded and lifted his leg. Coco looks like he's running well. With the tightness in his hamstring.
So after the leadoff walk, now 2 outs and crisp at first for Derek Barton. Barton struck out in the first, grounded out in the third. A's with 3 hits so far in the ball game, and 1 run came in the third inning. A triple by Pennington, a sacrifice fly by Crisp. Crisp with a pretty good lead when he goes back to first.
But have to wonder if he would be running, trying to steal. I mean, it'd be great to see him because that would mean that his legs feel good. Feel great.
Quick 0-2 to Derek Barton.
Barton taking a couple of pitches almost like he thought Crisp would be running.
On the life of a second place hitter, especially if the leadoff guy is a base stealer.
There's Derek Barton, very good, hit it with 2 strikes. We'll see how it is with this at bat.
Changeup drops low and Barton lays off. They're into the 9th inning now in Texas. The Indians with a 9-3 lead. Seattle and Kansas City 1-1 game in the 5th inning. Seattle. Hernandez and Bannister, the pitching matchup in that game at Safeco. Pitch is reached for and fouled straight back to the net.
Derek Barton, one of the best hitters, of course, with a couple of strikes. He watches the ball so long, it's like he's watching the ball into the catcher's mitt. He and Coco Crisp actually kind of similar in their approach, where the pitch is made, they'll follow it. If it looks like it's pretty close to the strike zone, they'll try to foul it off to stay alive. This Derek just into the last pitch.
Crisp was leaning a little bit that time. Count is 2-2. Take on an off-speed pitch, and now full count, so that will allow Coco Crisp to take off with 2 outs.
So 0-2. The next 4 pitches to 3-2.
Does it all the time, Derek Barton.
91st pitch coming up as Joe Girardi sees the pitch count of his pitcher approaching the 100 mark, just the 5th inning.
Crisp goes, and the pitch is fouled just past the A's dugout.
Mark Teixeira holding Coco Crisp at first for a couple of reasons. Try to keep the runner close in the event a ball is hit in the gap, try to prevent it from scoring, but also with the style of hitting of Derek Barton, it's unlikely he's going to pull a ball. If there is a chance a hitter will pull it, the first baseman will not hold the runner, try to take up some of the space between first and second. That is not the case with Derek.
Barton bounces one right back to Vasquez. Flips to first side, retired. The leadoff walk, but nothing else for the A's. So we head to the sixth. Yankees still leading 2-1. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cash Creek Splash Up Cash with hundreds of prizes every day until today. Visit cashcreek.com for details. Today, July 5th. It is getting chilly at the Coliseum as the Yankees with a 2-1 lead. It's been that way since the A's scored their run in the bottom of the third. This is the top of the sixth. Jeter leads things off. Jeter, Teixeira, Rodriguez. So it is the heart of the order for Ben Sheets. He's retired 5 in a row.
And it's a big inning for Ben Sheets. He has pitched very well with the exception of giving up the 2 runs with 2 outs in the second inning, and kept his club in the game, trailing by just a run. Want to get it out of hand now. Continue to pitch deep into the game. Something that he just wanted to do.
Well, not just 5 in a row. Ray, 10 of his last 11 he's retired. So he's in a nice groove right now.
See the smile from Derek Jeter on that last call. He's been in the infield seeing some of the pitches that Vasquez have not gotten.
Yep.
As a result, he had a little smile on his face when the pitch was close, called a strike.
Pitch, it's a foul. Two and 2 to Jeter. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out. Setting up inside, and he gets jammed. Barton dives, and he caught it. Nice play by Derek Barton, and that is out number 1.
My Gold Glove first baseman Derek Barton just continues to shine with the glove. Inside out swing, but one of the best in the game, hitting the ball the opposite field. But Derek Barton again making a great play. Rob Teixeira in the first inning, lines right, and now It's Derek Jeter. You know, the coaches and managers vote on the Gold Glove, and a show that Derek Barton has put on this season. Teixeira is excellent at first base for the Yankees, but he's got to get some votes. He has played outstanding at first base.
2-0 to Teixeira. Teixeira lined out. Barton made a nice play on that ball in the first inning, and then Teixeira grounded out to Ellis in the third. It was a 2-0 fastball. Teixeira was waiting for it and found the thing.
Seeing him do damage on 3-0 fastballs. You don't want to get in that count, as he will be swinging.
Stands quite a ways off the plate and starts with very open stance.
That's the New York Yankee Stadium stance there.
Alex Rodriguez is in the on-deck circle. This ball runs away. 3-1. 92 miles an hour from Sheets. That one's driven to center and deep. Chris going back near the wall. Gone. Number 14 for Teixeira. 3-1 right out over the plate, right?
Well, swinging 2-0 the way he did, you knew he's going to have a similar, if not better, swing on 3-1. Seemed to be a little bit of confusion between Suzuki and Sheets on the 2-1 pitch. In the 3-1, challenge him with a fastball, and we talked about it on the road. When you're throwing 95, 96, you can get away with a fastball up in the zone like that, but not at 92, 93. It's a big difference. First of all, allows a power hitter to pull the ball. Mark Teixeira is exactly that.
That's the 17th home run Sheets has given up. He has now thrown 104 innings. 105. Pennington ranging to his left. Straightens up and throws on Alex Rodriguez for out number 2 here in the 6th.
Now batting.
So Rodriguez is 0 for 3, and that'll bring up Robinson Cano.
Cano.
Cano has lined out and singled. Russell Branyan just hit a home run for the Seattle Mariners. That game up in Seattle, it's now the Mariners 4 and the Royals 2 in the 6th inning. These Yankees will go to Seattle for a 4-game series this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, obviously leading up to the All-Star.
And for all those Yankees on the All-Star team, just a trip down south. Follow the game Sunday down to Anaheim, so it will not be a long trip for them. By finishing the first half on the West Coast.
Two and 1 to Cano. 344 is where his average is at. He skies one, playable, shallow left center field. Crisp coming in. He's got inside, retired. Home run for Mark Teixeira, his 14th of the year. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's the Yankees 3 and the A's 1. It's time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Good outfit by that youngster. Right now, trying to keep himself warm. Chilly night. Sweeney leading it off for the Athletics, followed by Suzuki and Cust. Keep an eye on the 95 or 93 pitches by Vasquez so far. Joe Girardi is, because he's got somebody warming up in the bullpen. Dustin Mosley. There's a line drive into the glove of Alex Rodriguez, 1 out.
We got a third baseman plays off the line. Alex Rodriguez does with a left-hander, especially Ryan Sweeney. Well, a lot of times there's a base hit, but right to him in this case, where he was playing off the line about 20 feet. Slicing drive, but Alex Rodriguez just had to go down to his left around the shoot tops and take a hit away from Sweeney.
First pitch to Suzuki is caught by Rodriguez. His throw to first is in time. Terrific play by Alex Rodriguez, diving behind the bag at third, and then he showed off the strong arm. Heck of a play.
Not a great play, and again, robbing still off the line, but had to go far to his right. And you're right, a very strong arm. He's always had the strong arm, playing shortstop, and moving to third, right over the top, and gets Suzuki by a step. Half step.
Watch him throw up over the top. He usually throws down from the side, which a lot of infielders do, but
a little bit extra on it.
He really got up over top.
Look at him bobble a little bit right there. A little double clutch. Made sure he had the four-seam grip and right over the top. And yes, he is a candidate for a Gold Glove as well.
Ball, strike to Cust. Now, he was really playing a long ways off the line for Suzuki as well.
Yeah, for Suzuki getting out of the box and looking and seeing where he's playing and thinking, well, there's two. And maybe, just maybe, not that quick out of the box by half step, and that's what he was thrown out by.
We're going 2 to Jack Cust. Vasquez is trying to get himself another inning. Custis hit a fly ball to right field. That was in the second inning, and then he walked in the fourth. Custis had a good series in Cleveland. He was 4 for 7, a couple of doubles, and he walked 6 times. Changeup drops low, 2-2. Left field, and Gardner toward the line. He's got it side retired. So pretty good defense by the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th. As we head to the 7th, they lead 3-1.
Ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate their loyal fans, Ashby Lumber wants to
not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
7th inning from the Coliseum. Yankees 3, the A's 1. Swisher, Granderson, Cervelli. Swisher, the first pitch of the 7th, singles up the middle. The Swisher is 2 for 3.
Well, you take pitches and then fool you by jumping on the first pitch fastball. And
number 14,
a lot of times what hitters will do, kind of set you up a little bit, thinking that you're going to be taking a first pitch strike, first pitch fastball, and hitters will jump on it.
Inside fastball to Curtis Granderson. Granderson tripled in a run in the 2nd and then later scored and struck out in the 4th. And he lines it right at Pennington, and that's out number 1. Swisher hustles back. So 1 out here in the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Francisco Cervelli.
number 29, Francisco Cervelli.
7 starts for Ben Sheets. He's gone 7 innings twice, the rest 5 innings. And right now, having thrown 87 pitches, that's good for him to maybe even go deeper than 7 tonight.
Well, his, let's see, last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 starts. Ben Sheets.
He's the 7th lowest American League run support. Dallas Braden and Joe Gonzalez are in there. That's
you don't want to be on that list.
3/5 of the A's starting staff. The top 10 in fewest run support.
But Sheets in his last 8 starts, innings pitched 6, 7, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, and 6. minutes into the 7th inning. Two 2-0 now to Cervelli. Colin Curtis in the on-deck circle. It's Rob Thompson, the third base coach. Jorge Posada got a foul tip off his left ring finger yesterday. He's not feeling all that hot. Enough to the point where they took x-rays on it. They weren't negative, but he's going to sit out for a couple days.
Now, when you say left, that's the glove hand. It's not his throwing hand. And left hand can also be damaged or injured, as he proved. Catch a foul ball the wrong way, maybe the back of the net, or a case where it hits it in the pocket, hits it wrong. Just a tough position.
Hey, got to be a special man to be a catcher. Good pitch by Sheets, outside corner with a fastball. Cervelli strikes out.
A fastball starting outside, tailing back to the outside. Tommy Cam. Perfect strike.
Number 27, Colin Curtis.
So with 2 outs, Colin Curtis will step in. That brings us to our You Make the Call. Who's the greatest Yankee of all time? Boy, good luck on that one. Make sure you visit the A's page at CSN California.
There could easily be a number 5 with all of the above. And number 6, I think there are 5 listed. But regardless, because you can't deny any one of those 5 listed. A great Yankee.
That's a base hit by Colin Curtis. Sharply hit to center field. So Swisher stops at second base. 2 on, 2 out, and we head back to the top of the order. Well, Derek Jeter has the most hits in Yankee history. What does that tell you? Freddie Williams is on that list, and he wasn't even on the other list.
I was going to say, that tells you that when you're leading Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle,
Now batting,
and you're top of those 4 or 3 listed.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Yes, it is.
Well, you know what else is good, though, is like when you're a rookie, like Jeter was in, 1996, right?
Yeah.
So you get your uniform, and they give you number 2. Now, if you have a single-digit number on a Yankee uniform, that's a good thing. Because most of them are retired. 3, 4, 5, 1. 6 is not. Joe Torre
was 6, yeah. Well,
7 is 8.
8.
It's 9.
Roger Maris.
Yeah. There's Maris. Yeah, that's right. He is. There you go.
Because when Craig Nettles was traded there, he wanted number 9. He said, no, it's. Yeah, there's only 2 and 6
2
that
and 6
are not retired. And I would say there's well, even Joe Torre, the number of championships he won there as a manager, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think number 8 is retired twice with
Good call.
Yogi Berra. Is it Elson? No,
it's not Elson.
Yeah,
It's
Dickey.
Bill Dickey.
Yeah. Seems like. Just have to check the media guide. It says it all.
Well, you start reading the Yankee media guide.
Yeah, but you can go right to the retired numbers.
On and on.
Michael Wirtz getting loose for the A's. He's been approaching 100. Through 104 in his last start. That was just 6 innings.
One, 2 to Brett Gardner. Takes that sharp breaking ball and drops low.
This is a big out for Ben Sheets. Back of the dugout, trailing by 2. Factor in the stress of pitching in a game like this anyway, trying to keep the Bronx Bombers down. They've scored 3 and try to keep it at 3 through 7 innings.
Jammed, one hopper to Barton. Side retired. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. That's coming up. It's the Yankees 3 and the A's 1. Indeed, 3-1 is the score. Kuzminov, Gross, and Ellis here in the bottom of the 7th for the A's. Javier Vasquez back out there. He's at 101 pitches. There is action in the Yankees bullpen. Kuzminov goes after the first pitch, drives with the right center, but Granderson tracks it down. 1 pitch, 1 out. A very good center fielder. Dustin Mosley was up last inning. He's up again this inning.
A lot of times the manager, pitching coach will say to the pitcher, you go batter to batter. Of course, anytime the A's get a runner on base, brings a tying run to the plate. Potential tying run. It is if you can do something. You always want to have somebody ready if you need them. Except for that guy. That's Chad Godin next to Mariano Rivera. Chad, of course, for the Yankees last year, the World Championship, started the season, spring training, and he's picked him up in spring training. Designated him anyway, right back to the Pinstripers.
Gross hits one high, shallow center. Granderson racing in, and he caught it. He clearly ran the furthest.
Yeah.
Colin Curtis, the right fielder, probably could have caught it. Cano probably could have caught it, but Granderson did catch it.
Gabe Gross upset that he hit what he thought was going to be an easy out, but little did he know it was going to take Curtis Granderson running forever. Tremendous speed and trying to say, I got it, and reached out and did get it.
He was slightly shaded toward left center when he took off running for that ball. So 2 outs. There to Mark Ellis. Remember, Ellis led off the 5th inning with a walk. Since then, Vasquez has retired 8 in a row. Settling down at the right time. Now, the count is even at 2-2. First at bat, he grounded to short. That was in the 3rd inning. Slices this one to right field. Coming in and going into a dive, and Curtis caught it. Colin Curtis, a diving play. Right after Curtis Granderson did the same thing. 3 up, 3 down inning. We head to the 8th. 3-1 New York.
Too much good stuff, man of the game.
Javier Vasquez is loving his defense right now.
And I think he's done. I think that last 2 plays, pretty good. I mean, a long run by Granderson, diving play by Curtis, although Curtis broke back and then by not having to dive for the ball to get to it.
Tommy Chamberlain is starting to throw, so that's another sign that Vasquez could be done. Kuzmanov grabs it, but it's a foul ball. Pretty nice play, but not going to matter. There's Chamberlain. Coco Chris made a terrific play. Derek Barton made a nice play in this game for the A's and for the Yankees.
Too many.
Yeah, Alex Rodriguez, nice diving play. That was on Suzuki. And then, of course, the last 2 by center fielder and right fielder.
That's the thing about the Yankees. They have the pitching, 3 10-game winners. Once they have the offense, then they throw the glove at you.
Fewest errors in the American League. And that's just errors. They've showed that they take base hits away as well. Ben Sheets, twice this year, has pitched 7 innings in a game. Did it at Detroit on May 28th. Did it at St. Louis June 19th. This is the 3rd time. And That's going to get through, and a base hit for Jeter. But I don't recall, Ray, those other two 7-inning stints, him pitching into the 8th inning.
No, he did not.
I believe he did.
He is not. 7 complete. Derek Jeter finally gets one past Dirk Barton. That's 4 balls hit to the right side. This one, though, makes it in to right field. Well, those were 7 at 94 pitches and 7 at 96. So there's straight 7, no pluses in there.
There's Teixeira. He had a mighty swing on a fastball. Sheets challenged him at 94. Home run in the 6th for Teixeira.
Well, you see how they're getting inside that last pitch, but not on the 3-1. And it cranked out for a home run. With his last start, Jones and Patterson in Baltimore.
Just missed off the plate. 95 miles an hour. 1-2. Jeter, really short lead at first. That one was on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 4 for Sheets.
Got a good fastball outside corner, and again perfectly thrown strike. Tommy Camp catches the black, catches the corner, enough for Hunter Winterstead.
And Bob Guerin's coming out, and he is going to make the move. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Ben Sheets, his night will come to an end. 7 1/3 innings tonight for Sheets. Tomorrow here at Comcast Sportsnet California, the A's will play Game 2 of this 3-game series against the New York Yankees. There is your pitching matchup, a pair of all-stars, CC Sabathia and Trevor Cahill. Coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. The home of A's baseball is Comcast Sportsnet California. That will be a fun one. Cahill, Sabathia.
We actually, for 2 more starts before the All-Star break, Trevor Cahill, White Rabbit.
That's right.
Tomorrow night and Sunday.
Cahill will be looking for his 9th win. Sabathia will be looking for his 11th. So Jeter at first with 1 out, and Michael Wirtz making his 22nd appearance as he faces Alex Rodriguez. A slider, and it got a piece of Suzuki, like maybe on the foot.
It looked like the ball came straight down, the slider. Alex Rodriguez hit right over the top of the ball. Check the right foot. Oh, wow. The shin guard extends, but not far enough. On the foot.
Oh, that was a
finds you.
That was a direct shot to the heel. Man, man. We admire you, Kurt Suzuki. 0-1 to Rodriguez. Slider stays high. First two sliders from Wertz, not really with that downward movement that we usually see. That looks better, and Rodriguez misses it by quite a bit. 1-2.
Well, he has to have this pitch, and definitely that was one of the better ones. The hard slider, like splitter.
Fly ball to Sweeney toward the line and right. That's out number 2. So Alex Rodriguez is 0 for 4. And Robinson Cano will hit now with 2 out. Jeter still at first.
Robinson Cano.
Mariners still leading the Royals 4-2, top of the 8th inning. Speed pitch in for a strike, right on the outside corner. It's a time when Derek Jeter steal you a lot of bases. Not quite so much anymore. He does have 9 this year. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So Cano goes for the long walk. Fan down below us just yell, "Get in the box!" Now, that wasn't me. That was the fan below us. Two pitch slider and it's rolled foul. Cano's going to go for that walk again.
The guys that just stay right in the box. They never move.
Dig back in and go. Swing and a miss. That was a good slider from Wertz. So he strikes out. Cano gets Alex Rodriguez, and Jeter is stranded at first. Bottom of the 8th, coming up from the Coliseum. Little work to do for the A's. They trail 3-1. Here's our game summary brought to you by McDonald's. 3-8-0 for the Yankees, 1-3-0 for the Athletics. A's come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cliff Pennington's going to lead it off, and he's going to face a new Yankees pitcher when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and Spong experts. Java Chamberlain comes in. He's the setup man for the Yankees. The ERA pretty high, 5.24 for Chamberlain. He's a very hard thrower. Triple and a fielder's choice for Pennington. A's have just 3 hits in the game. Their last hit was an infield hit by Kuzminoff in the 4th inning.
It's amazing with the Yankees' decision to go with Phil Hughes in the rotation and Chamberlain bullpen, and the success Hughes has had in the rotation. Of course, Chamberlain coming in throwing hard out of the bullpen. It's worked out well for them.
Well, Chamberlain did a decent job as a starter last year. He just threw a lot of pitches. He'd be out of the game in the 6th inning. Now, he was pretty good for those 5-6 innings. Down and was pitched deep into the game. Full count with Coco Crisp in the on-deck circle. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So 1 out here in the 8th.
This Saturday, July the 10th, the A's will host the Angels. Game time at 6:05 after the game. Head down onto the field at the Coliseum for another exciting post-game fireworks show presented by the Oakland Tribune and the Contra Costa Times. For this show, the musical theme is country. Don't miss the fun. Get tickets online, OaklandAthletics.com.
Top of the order, Crisp. Line drive to left field. Gardner's right there. It's kind of been that kind of night offensively for the A's. When they have hit a ball hard, the Yankee has been there.
Now batting, first baseman, number 10, Darren Barton.
Yes, he is getting ready. 1 out away from the Ultra Bowl time.
Well, you said it when we introduced Ultra Mo, super slow motion camera. That did not mean we wanted to see.
That's right.
The man they call Mo, Mariano Rivera. 1-1 to Derek Barton. Offs it high and foul. Nice crowd tonight here at the Coliseum. 27,405. Good start to the series, attendance-wise. Strike 3 called outside corner. That was the same pitch that Pennington got called out on. Hunter Wendelstedt did the same thing to Derek Barton. So a couple of strikeouts for Java Chamberlain. We're headed to the 9th. 0-1 Yankees.
game before the All-Star break is this Sunday, July the 11th. Game time against the Angels is 105 and 10,000 fans will receive these barbecue sets, brought to you by Supercuts. For tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com or call 877-493-BALL.
Well, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Cedric Bowers, the lefty, takes over. Michael Wirtz faces a couple of hitters, retires them both in the 8th inning. So Bowers here in the 9th facing Swisher, Granderson, Cervelli.
Well, Hunter Weddlestad, we've talked about his strike zone before the game. How about this one? That strike 3 to Derek Bark. You see where the plate is? All of a sudden, he got very wide to Cliff Pennington and to Derek Barton at a time when the A's did not need it. And players are saying to be consistent. We saw the strike zone earlier. Some curveballs, some fastballs, and all of a sudden it changed. And Ultramo, we have Tommy Cam.
We got it covered. Cedric Bowers last pitched on Wednesday. He's in Baltimore, so he's had 4 days off. It was a tough outing for Bowers. He gave up a couple of home runs.
It was a game in which the A's gave up 5 home runs total in the game.
One. He did not give up a couple. He gave up one. It was a big one. Curveball, and looked like a pretty good pitch. Weddlestad would not call it. Swisher, a single and a double and a run scored. He's 2 for 3. Royals have scored a couple times in the 8th inning to tie the Mariners 4-4, and the Royals still batting in that game. Swisher skies one to shallow right. Sweeney's got it, and that's out number 1. Well, visit csncalifornia.com and vote for the 2010 All-Star Teacher. Check out finalist bios and video features. The winning teacher receives $10,000 for his or her school. One out for Curtis Granderson. 8 hits for the Yankees in the game, 3 for the Athletics. Neither team has made an error. Curveball from Bowers in the first strike. With Rivera warming up in the bullpen. Scheduled hitters for the A's at the bottom of the 9th will be Sweeney, Suzuki, and Cust. If anybody gets on, Kuzmanov.
Fastball location supposed to be outside, close to Curtis Granderson on the inside part of the plate. No cross up there, just mislocation.
Bowers comes back and snaps off another good breaking ball, 1-2.
Well, 2 very good curveballs. Also the one to Nick Swisher that was called a ball, but 2 to the left-hander Granderson. Very good ones for strikes.
This one in the dirt, blocked by Suzuki. Another pitch in the dirt, and it's a full count. On deck is Francisco Cervelli.
outside. He walked it. That's the first walk in the game by an ace pitcher. Ben Sheets went 7 1/3, no walks, 4 strikeouts.
Third time this year, Ben has pitched a game in which he has not given up a walk. He's not walked a batter.
There's a line drive. Ellis has it. And diving back to first is Granderson. So Mark Ellis grabs the line drive from Cervelli. 2 outs.
Now batting, number 27, Colin Curtis.
So Colin Curtis will hit. So it'll be lefty versus lefty. Curtis is 1 for 3. He had a single in the 7th inning. Rivera is pretty much loose out in the bullpen. Not really in a big hurry to warm up. He's been down there for a while. For Bowers again, and he gets the strike. 1 and 2. Granderson, a little bigger lead this time, and Bowers goes over there again. Granderson 6 for 6 in steal attempts this year, and there he goes, and he got a pretty good jump, but it doesn't matter. Strike 3 call, the fastball right on the outside corner. And that will do it for the Yankees. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Rivera's coming in. It'll be Sweetie, Suzuki, and Cust. The score is the Yankees 3 and the A's 1.
is brought to you by Toyota. Say yes to amazing deals on your favorite Toyotas. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Yes. By Xfinity. The next generation in home entertainment. Now available in the Bay Area and coming soon to the Central Valley. By Chevy. With a full lineup of award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. And by Verizon. Own the airwaves. The signal is yours. Verizon. Rule the air.
Well, we've reached the bottom of the ninth here at the Coliseum. The Yankees with a 3-1 lead, and that means, of course, only one thing, that Mariano Rivera is in the game. Sweeney, Suzuki, and Cust, career numbers against Rivera, the great one. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Rivera comes on, looking for his 19th save of the year. First pitch, Sweeney takes a stride. 544 career saves for Rivera. Second most all-time behind Trevor Hoffman. That one grounded. Teixeira gets a nice big hop, steps on the bag, and that's out number one.
Well, the Yankees do not want to think about it, but you have to figure eventually Rivera's going to retire.
How old is he? Let's check. I'll tell you in like 3 seconds.
How about this? Since 2008, 091 earned run average on the road, 70 for 74 save opportunities.
He's 40. He'll be 41 in November. And he's a free agent, but he's not going anywhere. Just a matter of how long of a contract would you give him?
How about whatever you want, Mo?
I agree. I mean, he doesn't throw nearly as hard as he used to, but
that last one at 92.
Yeah.
But I mean, when's the last time you saw a pitcher use one pitch and have the success that Rivera has had? And he's basically a one-pitch pitcher, cutter that he'll use in front door, back door. But 90-92 with his fastball / cutter.
Trevor Hoffman is the all-time save leader. Hoffman's still active with Milwaukee. He has 596. As I said, Rivera 544. And listen, Rivera wants to win as many championships as he can, but I guarantee he'd like to finish on top of the all-time or saves list. So he would have to pitch for a couple more years. Two and one to Kurt Suzuki. This one hit to right field. Playable for Colin Curtis, and that's out number two.
Got time now for the Jeep drive of the game, and we have to give it to that man. Really, it's kind of made the difference. The A's are trailing by 2-1. 3-1 fastball to Teixeira. Maybe a little bit up, maybe a little bit outside, but enough for him to reach out and drive it to right center for the home run. And if there's one thing you'd like to see from a power hitter, is expand the strike zone. Take a pitch when you're looking for it, fastball, expand, and in essence do what Mark Teixeira did. And it's a big blow in the game because it did give, has given, the Yankees a 2-run lead.
So last hope to get on base for the A's is Jack Cust. Cust 0 for 2 with a walk. A couple of flyouts. Big swing by Jack. He fouls it back. 14 consecutive hitters have been retired. Last hit was in the 4th inning. A single by Kuzma.
Tomorrow night, Blue Hill White Rabbit is Trevor Cahill. That's for win number 9. It's for Leo's own CC Sabathia.
Just a bit inside, 2-1. Kevin Kuzminoff waits in the on-deck circle. Cust, left center field. Granderson on the run, so is Gardner. It's going to be the left fielder, Brett Gardner, who tracks it down, and that's the ball game. A's go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 9th inning, so Rivera gets the save for Javier Vasquez. Teixeira with a home run, and the Yankees take game 1 of this 3-game series by a final score of 3-1. So the Yankees, Vasquez for 7, Chamberlain pitches the 8th, and Rivera the 9th. So the final 15 Athletics hitters are retired in this game. Once again, your final score, the Yankees 3 and the A's 1. Don't go